Good morning, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to those who may have gotten a paycheck today. Caitlin, it's a heat wave out there. Everybody seems to be in a much better mood today, and I can't blame anybody who has a smile on their face on a day like today. Lots of good reasons to smile.
Oh my gosh, so many good reasons. And I think the biggest that everybody really is enjoying is the fact that it is a warmer morning out there.
Yeah.
You can really feel the difference. And I don't know if you saw it yet, but the extended forecast is just getting better and better.
There's a glimmer of hope.
There is that glimmer of hope. So
right
just
now.
to hold on to that hope, because we're going to need it after what we have coming our way. And that's some bitter cold. Now, this morning, the lowest that we reached was about 1 below zero here in Mankato, and some areas did not even reach below zero this morning. It was just the wind chills that made everybody feel like we were below zero. So the good news is this is actually one of the warmest, if not the warmest morning we have had so far this week, with a nice amount of us having temperatures bottom out above zero. Yeah, some of us still reached below zero, but we'll take some of us not below zero. Now, it is Valentine's Day, so taking a look at your Valentine's Day forecast, we do have some nicer temperatures on the way. We're up to 25 degrees for the high with scattered snow showers on the way. In fact, we have a weather advisory, a winter weather advisory that is for the eastern half of the area for this afternoon. I'll have more details on why that is coming up shortly. Jackson?
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Caitlin. We'll start this KEYC news now to go with some state news. Minnesota Senator Tina Smith announced yesterday that she will not be seeking re-election. Smith has represented the state since 2018, but says she'll be stepping away from public service to focus on her family. Quinn Gorham reports.
I want to be able to spend more time with my family, and I want more balance in my life than this incredibly important job provides for.
Senator Tina Smith, recounting her decision to step away from office, says it wasn't a political decision.
And I was confident I would have won, but it would have been a big job. I can focus completely on this work that we have ahead of us right now, and what I think is a very dangerous time in our country.
Smith will serve out the rest of her term, but her decision sets up a battle for the seat in 2026. Already, prominent DFL names are being floated to fill her spot. Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan has already announced an intent to run, saying so on social media briefly after Smith's announcement. Other DFL names like Angie Craig, Ilhan Omar, and even Governor Tim Walz have been floated as well.
And one of the reasons I chose this time to make my announcement is I wanted to give candidates like Lieutenant Governor Flanagan plenty of time to marshal a campaign and do the incredibly hard work of running and winning a statewide campaign.
But Smith said she'd let the voters decide who her successor will be.
It's not my job to pick my successor. That's up to the voters of Minnesota and these candidates to put together their case. But I wanted to give everyone plenty of time to do that hard work.
Minnesota GOP Chair Alex Plekish said in a statement on Thursday that the race is an opportunity to flip the Senate seat in 2026. Smith says she believes the seat is safe for Democrats despite Republicans' electoral gains in 2024.
Republicans have not been able to win a statewide race in Minnesota since I think 2006. And of course, in all of my campaigns, I've run, as lieutenant governor and then twice as United States Senator. I won with sizable margins.
In St. Paul, Quinn Gorham, KEYC News Now.
Back here at home, a Blue Earth County grand jury has indicted a Mankato man on first-degree murder charges in the shooting death of another man back in December on December 21st. 18-year-old Gunther Boone Jr. was indicted on 5 charges, including first and second-degree murder and possessing a firearm with no serial number. The criminal complaint says Boone fatally shot 31-year-old Darius Deshaun Johnson of Mankato on the 500 block of East Walnut Street. Authorities went to Boone's home after initially denying any knowledge. The complaint says Boone admitted to police to shooting the victim. Boone is due back in court on March 11th. Demolition is wrapping up on the Landmark Center building in downtown Mankato, and crews are turning their sights on the nearby City Center Hotel. The majority of the Landmark structure has been demolished, but crews say it will take a while to completely dismantle the foundation. According to developers, work on the City Center Hotel building has already begun, but the crews are taking weather into account, being unable to work when it's too cold or too windy. Developers told KEYC that work is progressing slightly ahead of schedule schedule, and work on power lines around the area will likely begin in early March. Replacing the two old buildings, a 4-story Element by West Inn and a 10-story AC by Marriott with a rooftop restaurant, a project that is expected to be completed by the end of next year. AED devices, or automated external defibrillators, will soon be made available at area parks. Cabinets will be installed outdoors at Wheeler Park and Mankato West High School on February 27th in hopes of making the life-saving devices more accessible within the community. The project is run by Advocates for Health and is a partnership between a number of community organizations and Miss Minnesota Mankato's own Emily Schumacher. It's being done in honor of Faith Larson, a former Mankato West student who suffered cardiac arrest and died while playing basketball back in 2022. Larson's family is spearheading this effort to make AEDs available in local parks. Protests in downtown Rochester took place yesterday after ICE targeted a restaurant Wednesday, reportedly arresting 2 employees who were undocumented. The restaurant saying the men were brothers may have been working with false documents. The protest yesterday drew a couple dozen people who say ICE is not welcome in Rochester. Megan Zempel reports.
Say it loud!
Say it clear! Immigrants are welcome here!
Say it loud!
Say it clear! Immigrants are welcome here!
A couple dozen people showed up to Peace Plaza Thursday to protest the ICE raids in Rochester, after ICE arrested 2 NUPA employees Wednesday that were allegedly undocumented immigrants.
Well, it's Valentine's Day week, and while we are supposed to be celebrating love, we're witnessing heartbreak in the city of Rochester with ICE engaging in elevated activities and ripping people from their workplaces, their families, and their friends. And so we're here to say ICE is not welcome here. We know where they are, we know where they're staying, but we got to inform community about our rights and make sure people know that Rochester is a welcoming community.
They are ready to fight for their rights, and they are prepared to do that because we've been doing workshops, know your rights, handing out the red cards, just letting our community, letting them know that they have to be ready for this because we knew that this was coming.
Faith leaders were also among Thursday's protesters.
Our national denomination is in a lawsuit against the Department of Homeland Security against ICE's policies around sensitive locations as an infringement on our religious practice to love our neighbor.
The protesters also calling on local lawmakers in places like Hormel and Mayo to speak up.
This is the place of the Mayo Clinic. Austin is the place of Hormel. These are corporations that depend on immigrant labor, and they need to speak up that this is going to destroy Minnesota's economy too. So we're here in love, but we're also here in a crisis of our economy.
We're going to transition gears to a little bit of weather and the warm, how do I want to put this, heat wave, if you will. I know it's February, we don't really talk about heat waves, although we did have some in January. Today, mid-20s, it does feel like that, and then we're going to shimmer back down into those cold temperatures and then right back up next weekend. Looking forward to that.
We got to focus on the warm-up because what we have coming, we are definitely going to have to focus on being safe and smart with how we go out and about because we are looking at some of the coldest temperatures that we've had so far this season, but that's not going to happen until early next week. What's going to happen now is that heat wave and a little bit of snow on the way. Now, we actually do have that winter weather advisory in effect for the eastern portion, southeastern portion of the state of Minnesota, and that's really because those are the counties, or that's the area that's looking at the highest totals with this little bit of snow coming in. So this is going to go into effect at about 2 o'clock this afternoon and then remain in effect until about 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. And here's why. That snow is going to already starting to develop out to the southwest of us through the morning hours, and it's going to move in through the afternoon into the mid-afternoon hours. Now, this is going to wrap up in Mankato around 4 o'clock or so, give or take, this afternoon, continuing to the east a little bit longer, but keep in mind that just because it doesn't show snow in the area doesn't mean we can't get it in the form of some pop-up flurries and things like that, and that is something that we could see. But another thing that we do have to take into consideration is the fact that we are still seeing very, 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 very dry air above us, and that's that's where the snowflakes or the ice crystals have to fall through. And as they fall through that layer of dry air, they typically tend to dissipate, and that leads to some things that we can't control down here, which is a lot of the weather, right? So one of those things that it's really putting a hindrance on is how much snow we could see, and are we going to even see this snow in the area? Well, the thing is we are looking at some, but those totals are slowly decreasing because that layer of dry air is a lot thicker than we initially thought. But we do know that now from this morning's weather soundings that launched earlier this morning. So what we can tell you is that we are looking at a little bit of snow here in Mankato, but more snow to the east, southeast of us through tonight into tomorrow morning. Through the snow totals, here's what we can tell you is that because of that dry air, we are expecting less snow than what we could have seen should we not have that dry air. So from Mankato westward, we're really only looking at a dusting at most. From Mankato eastward is where those totals are going to slowly increase. And we're talking anywhere from a dusting up to 2 inches the more east you head to 35. Beyond 35, closer to the border, that eastern border of Minnesota and the western border of Wisconsin, up to 3 inches possible. Yes, locally, could have some areas see a little bit higher than that. So what that means is that some areas around Mankato could see 1 inch to 1.5 inches, or say, for example, maybe Waseca or Waterville could see 2.5 to 3 inches, while the city of Waseca only sees 2 inches. So it's things like that that we're really kind of focusing on, and it's going to be more of a now casting than a future casting for the fact that it's really all dependent on what that layer of dry air above us does over the next couple of hours. Now, what we do know is that we're looking at a high of 25 degrees today with those scattered snow showers still expected around the area. Winds are going to be breezy, so that could lead to some areas of reduced visibility, some blowing snow, maybe even some minor drifting along some of the roadways out there. So just some things to keep in mind as we do get a little bit of that snow through this afternoon into tonight. Now, because of that breeze, even though we're looking at a high of 25 degrees, wind chill values will top out in the mid-teens. Tonight, we're going to drop to a low of 17 degrees with some lingering snow possible. And again, that's going to be more so in the form of some flurries or pop-up snow showers around the area. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. We're going to hold on to those 20s and a breeze, so it's going to continue to feel like the teens. Here is a look at what we've been talking about that cold weather. Today, we're focusing on the snow, but after today, we need to change our gear and focus on the cold coming in, because look at Monday night and Tuesday. Those temperatures are going to be bitterly cold, dangerously cold for Monday night. And I will say we are anticipating some sort of cold weather alert for at least Sunday night through Monday and maybe even into Tuesday morning.
What if we just didn't look at it at all?
Close your eyes.
What if we just closed our eyes, pretend that it wasn't there, and then just look directly at Saturday?
Saturday and 30s. I don't even know the last time we had 30s in the forecast.
I wish.
Something to look forward to, that's for sure.
I tell you what. We're going to look forward to sports right now. Postseason wrestling is here in Section 2AA at Mankato East. The Cougars are taking on Glencoe Silver Lake Lester Prairie. It's a duel between the Cougars and Panthers. 4 versus 5 seed in the section tourney at 121 pounds for East. Jackson Stensrud, ranked number 4 in Class AA. The junior gets the takedown here and later caps off his night with the pin as the Cougars take a 12-3 advantage. Stensrud having a big year. That's his 34th win of the season. Moving up a weight class to 127 pounds, Garrison Dirks for Mankato East is in control, picks up the near fall points, and later goes on to win by decision to make it 15-3 in favor of the Cougars. East hoping for a spot in the section semifinals. Jackson Blue Bullets helps the Cougars case at 133 pounds. The only question in this match is whether it's going to be by fall or tech fall. Blue Bullets just can't quite lock the pin down, but the junior will take the tech fall. East gets the victory 38-25 to advance to the 2AA section tournament. Semifinals take place Saturday at 1 in the afternoon. To the hardwoods for some high school boys basketball action. The Maple River Eagles are hosting the St. Clair Cyclones. First half action off the inbounds play. Wyatt Burr gets the jumper to fall later. Avery Bergman tips the ball out of bounds. Austin Ward's hand. Tyler Haynes in transition finds Cole Davis in the corner for 3. Eagles out to a 20-3 lead. St. Clair forced to call a timeout. Eagles not slowing down. Hines hits Carson Healy right on the money for the easy 2. Eagles lead big in this one, but the Cyclones take the lid off the basket. Ward knocks down a 3, and the next time down the court, Hunter Winkler hits a 3. That's back-to-back threes for St. Clair, but it was all Maple River in this one, getting the 74-46 win over St. Clair. Next, high school boys basketball game. The Mankato Loyola Crusaders taking on the New Richland Heartland Ellendale Geneva Panthers. Late second half, Brooks Gillen with a nice move to create some space, and the jumper falls. Later, Crusaders with some quick ball movement. Cameron Fogel makes the extra pass to R.J. Beat. Beat puts it away for two more. Couple of possessions later, Fogel with the corner three to extend the Crusaders' lead. Loyola goes on to win big in this one, defeating NRHEG. Number 3, Gustavus women's hockey team hosting St. Scholastica. First period, Augustes with the puck in the offensive zone. A lot of shots on goal for Gustavus in the first, but just nothing able to find the back of the net. Check this out. Lily Mortensen gets a good look, but is denied by the goaltender. Still scoreless. Mortensen with another opportunity, grabs a loose puck, and she's in on net again. Still can't convert, and it remains scoreless. After one period, no score. Gustavus cuts it loose in the second period with 3 goals. They add another in the third as they go on to win by a final of 4-0. 4 different goal scorers in the evening for Gustavus, including Mortensen. Team is now 18-4 on the season and is at St. Scholastica this Saturday. Excuse me there, Caitlin. What a round of games there for sports last night, and it looks like we got some cookies here decorated by ours truly, Harvey.
Yeah, we had some fun yesterday, and he wanted me to give you a Valentine's card. And
here we go.
Yeah, he thought it would be fun to make some. Okay, I thought it would be fun to make some cookies, but he thoroughly enjoyed making the cookies, making a mess, and then eating the cookies, of course, right before bed. So I think we should try one, Jackson.
Well, let's try one. We'll wrap it up. Thank you guys for joining us, and thanks for watching this KEYC News Now to Go update. Stay with KEYC News Now for the latest local news, weather, and sports on our website.
And always download the free KEYC News and Weather apps for the latest headlines and forecast.